Welcome back to CryptoZonZ, peer-to-peer financial empowerment. Hashtag love all, serve others. Want to know what's going on with crypto? In this video, we'll do zone coverage under Zone 1, Bitcoin, cryptos, peer-to-peer, fintech, and blockchain technology. I've had to take a hiatus from the project I was involved in. You can see under this card here, the playlist. You can click on that and go to a playlist on my YouTube channel for how to speak Bitcoin. But I've had to take a hiatus out here in nature. You found me in my office again. But it is absolutely blow away incredible what's taking place right before our eyes. So I had to take a break from that and bring you up to date on some very, very massively important happenings in the Bitcoin and crypto market. Number one, what's going on is a great paradigm shift. And to sum up it in one sentence, what's really going on is a paradigm shift of rejection from all of these nation-state countries, from nation-state currencies, into an acceptance of implementing technologies into the blockchain technology and digital currency field. And just to bolster that argument, I'm going to mention just 2 or 3 happenings that have taken place recently. And one, for example, is the most practically unbelievable announcement I've heard. And I'm immersed in this niche and research. But a few days ago, the U.S. government announced that they're going to okay any bank to choose to decide to custody cryptocurrencies. Any bank. This is massive. This is an absolutely massive development, and a very surprising one at that. But this comes on the heels of, just like 7 or 10 days ago, such companies as PayPal, which I think it's $350 million market cap. Also, Visa and Mastercard have announced that they are going to enable some on-ramps for people to on-ramp Bitcoin and cryptos onto their payment channels, integrate that into their systems. And this, of course, is happening because PayPal has realized that if they don't upgrade, they're going to go the way of the dinosaur. There is also D.C.E.P, which is a digital currency electronic payment out of China. This is the Chinese digital yuan. Now, this is what is known as a CBDC, a central bank digital currency. This is the 6th, at least the 6th one that's actually launched already. Venezuela, Tunisia, Singapore, now China. There's a couple others that have already launched. But the reason why this one is so massive, they launched a beta. And this is on the heels of actually already trialing it in 4 economic zones in China. But they've launched a beta which will include the ability for up to 550 million people. 550 million people to participate in this through what's known as Didi, which is like the American Uber. It's the Chinese Uber. It's known as Didi. It's a payment platform. It's a ride-hailing service, but they also have added other features and services onto that. And after this is trialed and it gets some headway into the beta, I think very definitely what's going to happen, and we're already seeing signs of this happening, is other nations in the geographic region are likely going to be able to participate in some of that platform. And I think soon we may see as many as 600 to 750 million people being able to utilize a digital currency. So this is massive. And the whole world is going to be looking at this. I mean, this represents at least 7 or 8 or 9% of the entire global population. The entire world wants to know what's going to be happening and what will happen. And the only way to find out is to actually launch something like this. And it's practically audacious what some of the other world leaders come out and say. December of 2019, Steve Mnuchin made a statement. He's the Secretary-Treasurer of the He's the Secretary of the U.S. Treasury, and he had a conversation with Powell, who's the chairman of the Federal Reserve, and they said they decided that, they said, we don't think, I'll leave a link to the article as well as all. I've already prepared a lot of links to be put into the show notes. But this article comes out, it makes it sound like these two made their own decision for 335 million people in America, or even billions worldwide. But they said that we don't think that it's necessary to look at a launch of a digital dollar for probably 5 years. And this is just, to me, for whatever my opinion is worth, it's just blow away irrelevant and way outside of the realm of reality of what's really going on. The reason why these things are so, things are happening right now is, several reasons. The entire globe is caught up in fear of a health crisis, but this is really a distraction for what's really going on behind the curtains. The U.S. has launched an unprecedented percentage or amount of money printing. In quarter one and quarter two of 2020, they printed out about $3 trillion. I just saw a report saying that the CARES 2 Act is likely going to launch, although that has been tapered back a little bit. I think it's still going to launch about $1 trillion. Also, other countries around the world have chipped in for their part, like $1.5 to $2 trillion. And this is also coincident with a lot of civil unrest going on. But what is really taking place coincidentally also is this, what's called DeFi. I'll leave a link for defi.pulse. I'm not sure at the moment if it's defipulse.com or defi.pulse, but they have a website and they show that just a couple days ago, that DeFi industry has locked up over $4 billion now. And only a week ago, it had eclipsed 3 billion, and I think only about 30 days ago, it eclipsed 1 billion. So go to that website and check that out. Now, amidst all of this, there are some tokens that, one, for example, is Compound, that has just seen exponential growth. That has drawn back, that is drawn down recently, but I'm looking at one in particular that's called AAVE, AAVE, and this has shown 5,500% growth over the last year, less than a year. And these returns, I mean, that's 55x, but this is actually nothing. And you can see how excited I am about this, but I mean, buyer beware, absolutely, of course. And there will be, just because of human nature, there will be projects that come in with practical, 100% intention to scam, so be very, very careful. But at the same time, what is going on because of this massive influx of participation, even from nation-state governments, I'm not saying into DeFi, but into a very, very closely related section of the industry, which is decentralized currency, or not decentralized currency, but internet currency, that this is really spearheading a lot of interest and a lot of participation, looking forward to what will eventuate. And what I was beginning to say was that these returns, I mean, when you hear that, when someone hears that, they think, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. But actually, for whatever my opinion is worth here, yeah, I do know a little bit of what I'm talking about. Bitcoin has performed 9 million %. So this is actually small beans compared to that. I do think that there are some projects that are going to come up in this newly, massively growing niche of DeFi that may perform 1,000,000%, 100,000%. So that's just 10x is 1,000%. And I'm also looking at one that's called EWT. It stands for Energy Web Token. And I've seen some social influencers have come out saying things like, oh, it's just a flash in the pan, it's going to rise up and die right away, it's just a scam. But it's truly ignorant for these people to make statements like that, and for people to just go along with what they say. I mean, when even a casual observer looks just a very little bit into some of the information that's right on the top, and as far as information that's available out on the internet, you'll see, like, for example, Energy Web Token has some blue chip participants that are funding that project. And let's see, there's another one that I'm looking at, and of course I'll leave links in the show notes to all these. It's called BAND, B-A-N-D, BAND protocol. Let's see, was there another one I was going to mention? That's about it. But I did want to mention Caitlin Long, absolutely. She has 22 years of experience in Wall Street, but what she's done recently, she's from originally from Wyoming, I think, but she went back there, and for 2 years she's been developing proposals to be set forth for congressional approval in that state, and many of the proposals have passed into law. She is the CEO of a bank that's being called Avanti, and it is a 100% reserve bank. Now, this is just juxtaposed to a 400-year-old financial banking system that's been known as fractional reserve banking, which what that means is basically if you have $1 million, you can lend out 10 million. But with a 100% reserve banking, what this is going to be able to do is provide absolute liquidity for a very much growing newborn niche of an economy that is growing right in front of our eyes, and it's going to be able to serve that sector of this growing market. So these are very, very exciting times. Then looking at my notes here. Yeah, I think I've covered everything there. I was going at such a fast pace. I kind of got a little bit ahead of myself. But to kind of say a little bit about really the fundamentals of this, one thing that I've noticed is most people are excited about this market because they want to make money or because they see profits that can be made. That's secondary. And I want to encourage you, if you're going to get involved in this, firstly, know what the primary and the fundamental reasons why this is so massive, has such massive potential. It's because of liberty and freedom. Decentralized finance, of which Bitcoin is the progenitor, the first decentralized financial product, is what it really creates is the mechanism for a financial freedom and independence away from a financial system that is controlled by a very, very few. And all over the world, practically every single country on earth employs a money printer go brrr. You look that up, and that's a meme on the internet. But what it means is they can, their currencies are not backed by anything that is physical or has actual value. It's backed by, well, what I mean is it's instead of backed by gold or some sort of physical precious metal, it's backed by the word of the government. And many of these governments, of course, have value. But what I'm saying is this new internet currency is a true cryptocurrency. It's one that uses triple ledger technology, and it makes every transaction available for everyone to see. And it provides a banking and an economy of choice for anybody who has internet. And the other main fundamental thing about it is that it provides a deflationary environment. That is, obviously I don't have to tell you that it's juxtaposed to an inflating environment. So it may sound like it's too incredible to be true, but it is true. Bitcoin this year, its inflation rate is 1.8. In the year 2024, the inflation rate of Bitcoins is going to go down to less than 1% per year. So please check out the show notes. Please check out my CryptoZonZ channel. Please click on the green planet there, and I'd appreciate it. Please like and subscribe so others can see this. I'll appreciate that and treat that as an act of kindness. # love all, serve others. I wish you well. I wish you wealth. I wish you health. And until next time, peace.